Hey, what's up guys, Zeester007 here, and today I'm going to be bringing you another cube review. And as you can probably tell by the cube sitting here, it's a 6x6, and what you might not be able to tell is that it's a ShengShou 6x6. Technically the ShengShou 6x6 is a knockoff of the V-Cube patent design for the V-Cube 6, and well, just the cube itself, but there are many modifications from the original design that they've made to improve, in my opinion, improve the quality of the cube. So, like, one of the major differences is that V-Cube 6 is not tensionable. Like, when you turn the screws, they just keep spinning, but it doesn't get any tighter or looser. But with the ShengShou 6x6, you can tension the cube, or the screws. When you twist them, left becomes looser, right becomes tighter, which is really nice when you need to get that perfect tension to feel like you can do the best you possibly can. It's really quick. I bought this from iCubeMart, but iCubeMart's prices are rather expensive compared to some other cube stores. They're just really fast shipping and pretty cheap shipping prices. So in the description I've linked to a bunch of different stores, all either American or Canadian based, I'm pretty sure, that you can buy this cube from. And yeah, so if you're really looking forward to buying this cube, just check out those links. And yeah, it's about it's about like between $22 and $25, I think. So the stickers that came with it are these smooth stickers from iCubeMart. Well, my bad. But the stickers are pretty high quality. I got this for Christmas, which it's now May, so it's been 5 months, pretty much. Wait. Yeah, whatever. And the stickers, like, they haven't worn too badly. Like, they're mostly still intact. There's like some corners peeling and scuffs and scrapes, but mostly they're doing pretty good. The colors aren't that great. The blue's pretty dark, the green's pretty dark, the yellow's pretty dark. It's okay. The white's a normal white. Orange isn't bad. It's a pretty bright orange. And the red's like a normal red. Orange is still pretty dark though. So I'm gonna end up getting the CubeSmith Half Bright with the bright blue stickers, because that's the color scheme I usually choose. So you might want to do that if you're getting this cube yourself. As far as the weight of the ShengShou 6x6 goes, it's heavier than the ShengShou 5x5 slightly. You can tell just by holding them in your hands. It's definitely a little bit heavier, and but it's a lot lighter than the ShengShou 6x, the V-Cube 6, which is in my right hand, because the V-Cube 6 has a lot more plastic and the internal pieces. It has extra internal pieces, I think. No, it might not. It probably has the same amount of pieces, but a lot of these pieces on the ShengShou are more hollowed out, so it weighs less because there's less plastic, so that makes sense. It's lighter than a V-Cube 7 as well. I'm pretty sure the V-Cube 7 is about the same weight as the V-Cube 6, or maybe lighter than the V-Cube 6, but it's still lighter than the V-Cube 7. Heavier than a Dian Zhanchi. Or Zhanchi, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's spelled like Zhanchi or something if you were to just pronounce it by an English pronunciations, but you never really know. It's definitely heavier than the Zhanchi. But truthfully, weight of cubes doesn't really matter that much to me. But just to let you know. As far as a size comparison goes, it is slightly smaller than a V-Cube 6, just about, I don't know, like a tenth of the V-Cube 6 QB is above the top of the ShengShou 6x6. For a V-Cube 7, it's like, if you take it from the tops, like the very points of the V-Cube 7, it's about half a QB taller than the ShengShou 6x6. It's big. It's larger than the ShengShou 5x5, but like half of its QB. So like right there. And compared to a Dian Jianqi, it's like a layer higher. It's like one whole QB higher than the Dian, or higher, taller than the Dian Jianqi. So my Shengshao 6x6 is somewhat special because I saw. Wow, I just locked it up. I saw a I mixed it up now. That's good. I saw a thread on Speed Solving where somebody switched out the springs with the springs from a cube for U-Cube, and somebody left a comment that it will also become a lot better if you switch it out with the springs of a Dian cube. So I switched out the springs of my Shengshao 6x6 with my Dian Guhong, and after that it's turned a lot quicker, faster, better, whatever. It's been a much better turning cube after you switch out the springs, because I don't know why, just somehow the springs are higher quality for the Guhong. I didn't really compare the springs to see why it would be higher quality, but they are. So as far as like lubrication and tensioning goes on this cube, it doesn't exactly need lubrication at first, but I ended up lubricating mine with CRC heavy duty silicone spray because that's the only lube I have. But yeah, I think that sped it up a little bit. And as far as tensioning goes, like, I took mine completely apart when I was switching out the springs. So after I put it together, like, one of the screws was, let's see if I can find it. It doesn't really matter, but one of the screws was completely stripped out, and it was really difficult to turn that. Yeah, it's this one. You probably can't see it. It's a completely stripped, but it's really hard to turn that screw with your screwdriver. So it's really difficult to get even tensions throughout my cube. So sometimes the tensions feel a little bit off from each other because I can't really tension it correctly, because the screwdrivers I have here cannot tension this stripped one. So it's actually looser than the rest of my cube, which is kind of annoying when solving it because it gets everything mixed up. But so I don't really know how you would need to tension it because everybody's tensions vary, but I think mine's a little bit on the loose side right now. So as far as turn speed goes, just like all other Shengshao cubes, every layer turns really quickly. Like in this case, it's a 6x6, which is really amazing because the only 6x6 before this one was the VCube 6 and direct knockoffs of the VCube 6, and it turns much slower than the Shengshao. The VCube 6 turns much slower than the Shengshao 6, and it tends to lock up. And like when you first get the VCube 6, it'll stop at like 4 locations during the turn. But I've kind of worn that out of mine, but it still stops. Once it gets right onto the layer, it'll just lock in right there. Sometimes a little bit before, I don't know why, but it'll just lock in right there. With the Shengshao, it's much smoother and much quicker to turn it, especially if you trade out the springs for Dian or Q for U springs. So yeah, it's like really fast, especially for a 6x6. So as far as the smoothness goes for this cube, as I hinted towards before, it's just like all their Shengshao cubes. It's extremely smooth, no clickiness. It's pretty much just glides along flawlessly. Doesn't lock, well, doesn't really scrape against the other layers. Doesn't get locked into place like the VCube. It's very smooth. So for corner cutting on this, I wrote down like what I found out the corners could cut, but I think I've tensioned it slightly since then, so I might be off. But the outer layer, I think cut like 2/3 of a cubie. So like here, I should be able to cut that. If you go to like 4/5 of a cubie, like that, it like tends to lock up and turn that piece. I just popped it. So yeah, like 2/3 of a cubie, you can cut that pretty easily. And then the middle layers can cut 2/3 of a cubie as well. Sometimes it tends to lock up, but it can usually cut 2/3 of a cubie at the middle layers. So As far as lockups go for this, it does tend to lock up when you're solving and you're going pretty fast, especially when you're nervous. You'll end up messing it up, like the alignments of the layers, and it does get locked up pretty easily. Like I just locked it up there, and you saw me earlier lock it up earlier in this video a couple times. So like, it's probably its greatest flaw is the fact that it locks up so much when the layers are off. And it's pretty similar with most ShengShou cubes as well. As far as popping goes for this cube, well, I'm not sure if it's just my loose tensioning or it could be something to do with the springs, but I don't know how that would have anything to do with it. But it does seem to pop quite a bit. Sometimes this piece will pop, or this piece. Most of the time for this cube, this piece and this piece pop out. I'm not sure why. This, when you're solving, sometimes you can just pry those pieces out with your fingers. I think I have tightened it recently and it definitely has stopped popping as much, but before that it definitely popped a lot, pretty much as much if not more than my VCube 6. That's also a problem with the cube. But now if you get it the right tension, it doesn't pop over unbearably. So as far as some of the pieces and the core goes for this, yeah, I keep saying so as far as, I just do it. I don't know why. But like the corners, I kind of want to take them out, but I don't really feel like taking them out because it's pretty difficult to put back together after you get the corners up, because they're locked underneath other pieces inside the puzzle. I think like this piece, the wedgie piece. So, but as far as the pieces go, it's just centerpiece, just keep sliding down. This is what one of the edge pieces looks like, the longer edge piece. The smaller edge piece. The corner centerpiece. And the wing centerpieces, the little insiders. And then here's the exact centerpiece. I'm just going to take it out because, whoa. Here's a centerpiece, looks like that. I would show you the corner, but it's pretty difficult to get apart. And I don't really feel like putting that together. I was going to compare these to the VCube 6 pieces. I don't know why I didn't take that apart. But if you've ever seen a VCube 6 or have a VCube 6, you can definitely look at how they're different to the VCube 6 pieces. They're, I'm just going to start taking apart right here. They're like more rounded. Seem to be modified so to smooth it down. They cut out some of the plastic so it's lighter. Like these two pieces are pretty much the same, but they are different slightly. And then you compare these two pieces, differences. There, I'll just show you these pieces, whatever. Whoa. Here's the wedge piece. Wedge pieces compared to each other. It's pretty similar. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing right now, because I'm just kind of going at it. But corner center pieces. I wonder if the light's making it really hard to see. I don't know. They're pretty similar. See, this one's a little bit small. The ShengShou's a little bit smaller and such. The centerpiece. Oh, freaking. I just dropped it. Centerpieces, you know. This one has like a little ShengShou. I need to cut my fingernails. Holy crap. I don't look at my hands that often, I guess. The ShengShou has like this point down here that I guess probably helps it lock other pieces in place. I don't know. It might be for anti-popping, but they're pretty similar. Like you can tell these designs were kind of based. The ShengShou design was kind of based off the VCube design. These are similar pieces. There's just modifications to it. So yeah, to wrap this video up, compared to the VCube 6, I definitely prefer the ShengShou 6x6, and like all the other 6x6s, they're just pretty much the same as the VCube 6. So yeah, ShengShou 6x6 is the best 6x6 on the market in my opinion, and it's cheaper than most of them. It's definitely cheaper than the VCube 6. So if you're looking for the best cube for a good price, get the ShengShou 6. And I also have a solve video that I have a solve video, I'll link to it in the description. It's around 4 minutes and 30 seconds. There's probably tons of other solve videos for this on YouTube if you want to see it in action much faster than that. And some people prefer like the modded VCube6, a fully modded with the pin mod and everything. That's what Kevin Hayes used for the world record average mean of 3 that he just set like a couple weeks ago maybe, which was amazing. He had like 148 single, which is insane. But after switching out the strings for this, I can't see how the VCube6 could be better. I think a lot of the faster cubers use the Shanksha. I'm not sure, but every cuber has their own opinions. But in my opinion, just go with the Shanksha 6x6. It's cheaper and faster, in my opinion. So yeah, this has been Z-Star 007. I hate my name. And I will see you guys next time.